unless if they have to. But this will be a lot of fun to see how much time the veterans play versus how much time the young guys get.
The Jaguars have Josh Lambo out there to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their big offseason signing from Michigan State in his 7th year. It's the veteran Kirk Cousins.
I do hear some mild criticism of Kirk Cousins and his play the last few seasons in Washington, mainly because the team was just 24, 23-1. But I also saw a quarterback with an offensive line that essentially introduced itself to each other in the huddle before the first snap in Seattle. That's one of the best defenses in the NFL. Win that game with big plays late. This is a tough-minded, hard-nosed, gritty quarterback that tends to inspire a team to play better around him.
A good pickup there at 22.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
The Vikings' top 2 receivers match up with any pair in the NFL, and I'm talking about Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. And how about this? Both underdog success stories. Diggs, a 5th rounder in 2015. Adam Thielen, undrafted in 2014. Now they're helping set the pace for wide receivers in the league.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go.
To throw it is Cousins. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And you can see why he was the #3 pick when he came out in the NFL draft. 6'5", sturdy guy, strong arm, led his UCF team to a big bowl victory over Baylor, and runs the ball way better than he's ever given credit for.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, the big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And the offensive unit now for the Jaguars.
Let's take a look at tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or ASJ as his friends and all announcers like to call him because it's a whole lot easier. Second tight end drafted in 2014, but production was really lacking until 2017 with the New York Jets. Had 50 catches, which was more in his 2+ combined years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From midfield, here's Bortles. On the comebacker, complete. That's Cole. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On second down, here's Bortles. And that's incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
So now here in the second week of the preseason, you'd expect the starters play a little bit more than they did in week 1, but not a whole lot.
So if you're an offensive coordinator, what are you looking for?
What you're looking for is things getting cleaned up as you go along, because most of your playbook's probably installed. How well are they handling it? Easy in and out of the huddle? No mental mistakes? Are they starting to look like a good offensive football team?
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You know, during these preseason games, we're in week 2 right now, it's always funny looking at our spot charts up here in the booth, because with all the guys that might play in this one, it seems to get bigger and bigger each year.
Yeah, we pretty much supersize them, don't we? Because, you know, remember, they're carrying 90 now. And with the new rules, they'll carry 90 all the way through the preseason. Before they make the final cut, oh yeah, a lot of guys to learn for these games.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3.
And got his man complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And Rudolph has it left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
I'm putting a spotlight on Jalen Ramsey, who was an All-Pro for the first time in 2017 at cornerback. But I remember him coming out of Florida State, and people couldn't decide, was he a safety? Was he a corner? Do you use him at both spots? His ability to diagnose plays, his ability to control receivers at the line of scrimmage at his size and then run with them downfield, I think he's going to be a fixture in the Pro Bowl for years to come.
2nd down, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Calais Campbell coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long for Cousins. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that he almost...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position?
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Hurry up, here we go.
Simeon. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding. And that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Play action. It's Simeon. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from second to third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here we go now.
Simeon now to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? Exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't. 11
yards there for Jacksonville, and a first down as well.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Ben Gideon coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lee. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage, and that's exactly what he got done there.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. On second down, Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. It's a 3-point game here early. We're back to Minneapolis in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're up against a 3rd and 2 to start things out.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
On 1st and 10, Simeon. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards. That time and a new set of downs. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A give. This is Cook. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Here's Simeon. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind. Winning the ball game is not going the way he wants in terms of his own play. But, oh, yeah, that's right, winning the ball game. So don't press. Don't try and do things outside of what's going on right now. Don't try to increase your game or get yourself right. Just make sure you continue to lead your ball club and keep them moving in the right direction.
Yeah, they've got that lead so far. 1 interception for him, no touchdown passes. Now T.J. Yeldon. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. As we thought they might do here in week 2 of the preseason, they've left their starting quarterback out there for this second quarter, but I would imagine we will not see him after halftime.
Yeah, this is the time of year you've got to get your backup some reps and make sure you protect your starting quarterback.
Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now.
Green, 39.
They'll fake it. Now Simeon. Throw left side complete. It's Morgan. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the left side
Still
of the line.
second down.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
All right, here we go. 3, 19.
Now it's Simeon. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember,
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Bortles to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. As his guys are in for 6. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Jaguars defense as they get ready to set up shop. They start the drive with Cook. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. To throw on 2nd is Simeon. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now Leonard Fournette. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On the run, it's Fournette. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Danielle Hunter. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown-to-interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about...
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Telvin Smith. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Simeon. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down.
So many screen passes are the result of excellent acting by everyone. But sometimes the guy who's getting the ball tips the play off. The running back, because he's eager to get the pass, and sometimes he doesn't act very well about whether he's going to block or leak out or whatever. And I think that they saw that, and that's why they're able to get to him on it.
Back to throw, Simeon. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And this will be scooped up in the end zone. A defender gets there, and it's a touchdown. Once that ball was loose, the question was, would this be 2 or would it be 6? It's 6. The defense able to pounce on it.
And for the offense, the training didn't really kick in, did it? Once that ball comes loose, you've got to get on it, make sure that you recover it, or make sure you punch it out of the end zone. Anything but give it to the defense to score a touchdown.
Lambeau to add on the extra point. point after by Lambeau, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Now Simeon. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Handoff comes to Cook, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They pitch it out to Cook. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Simeon. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. That gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at the 20.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Green 80. Green cut.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Green 80.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Sherrills to return it. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Trevor Siemian ready to retake the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to...
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this. We remind you coming up at halftime. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I do.
I know you do. I've got the thing just for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando to take us through the weekend in the NFL. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs, first and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Fournette. Oh, another one. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And now running right through it. A big seam, and he might go all the way. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 60 yards. And the Jaguars had 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense is doing a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
See if he can look and do some soul searching now. The counter with Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. On first down, Murray. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. They'll try the air now with Simeon. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd and short.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Simeon wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Got a man, it's right. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. On first down, Simeon. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Simeon incomplete on first. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Simeon throwing again. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So on now is Kai Forbath. If you're wondering, he's hit from as far as 57. This will be from 56 yards out. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a minute. Week 2 of the preseason is upon us. We've got 2 more after this one, and then we get it all started as we normally do on the first Thursday after Labor Day. In our game, still a lot to keep an eye on. Guys battling, trying to make a ball club. We'll send it back to 2 guys already on our team. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Expect to see a good number of backups going forward as we are back and underway here in preseason week 2. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll break.